My fiancé said, "I just need one last trip with my ex before marrying you for closure." I smiled and said, "Of course." The next day, I called the caterer and the venue. She learned the truth at her bridal shower in front of everyone. At 31, I was a man working as a civil engineer in Phoenix, as Marissa Dale, my fiancée, was 27, and we had been together 2 years. Nearly $18,650 in wedding deposits sat across a venue, catering, and photography. She asked me to fund a closure getaway with her ex, and I chose myself. Most mornings started with quiet and pavement. I ran the canal path near Arcadia and kept my mind tidy. After the run, I stopped at Copper Juniper on 44th Street. A simple breakfast cost $11, and it felt earned. My life worked because I liked routines. I tracked budgets, paid bills early, and hated vague promises. Marissa liked sparkle and momentum. She could turn a room into applause with a laugh. We lived near Roosevelt Row in a rental duplex. Rent was $22.50 and I covered $1,600. I didn't mind paying more because I made more. I also didn't notice how that pattern trained her. On weekends, we planned a wedding like it was a project. Marissa called it our big start. The venue was Sagaro Terrace Hall off Camelback Road. Their retainer invoice showed $8,400, bold at the bottom. Citrus and Lace Catering took $6,300 to hold our date. Lens Lark Photography required $39.50 to lock in. I wrote every invoice line in a spiral receipt logbook. It was black, stiff, and always in my backpack. Marissa teased me about it at first. She called it my little accountant diary. I also carried an old fountain pen my dad gave me. Silver cap, scratched barrel, still smooth. I used that pen to sign contracts. It felt like a promise I could touch. Then my big opportunity arrived, clean and plain. It came as an offer letter while I sat on 7th Avenue. Granite Span Waterworks wanted me in Cleveland, They offered $154K, an 8% bonus, and a $6,500 relocation stipend. The job meant leading flood control upgrades. It also meant leaving Phoenix after the wedding. I showed Marissa the letter at Barrio Queen in Old Town Scottsdale. Dinner was $72, and her smile looked practiced. "That's a cold place," she said. "You're not serious." "It's a real offer," I said. "It sounds like a midlife flex," she said. That insult hit different than the first. It wasn't a joke, it was a verdict. I tried to stay calm and specific. I explained timelines, travel, and costs. Marissa waved a hand like she owned time. "Just tell them no," she said. "I worked for this," I said. "You're chasing status," she said. My flaw showed up right there. I swallowed my anger instead of naming it. A few nights later, we toured Sagaro Terrace Hall again. The coordinator quoted a final balance of $22,900. Marissa glided between tables and chairs. She talked like money was weather. On the drive home down Central Avenue, she turned quiet. Her silence usually meant she wanted something. She waited until we parked, then she leaned across the console. "I need one thing before the wedding," she said. "What thing?" I asked. "One last trip with Derek," she said. My hand stayed on the steering wheel. I stared at the speed limit sign, 35. "Why?" I asked. "It's closure," she said. Derek Mason was her ex from years ago. He was the guy she described as harmless history. I didn't ask for details. I didn't raise my voice. "How much?" I asked. Marissa brightened like she'd won. "Not much," she said. She said she wanted a short drive north to talk. She said she wanted me to cover it as a gift. I kept my face still. I didn't want her to learn my plan early. "Of course," I said. Marissa smiled and kissed my cheek. Her perfume smelled like victory. That night I sat at our kitchen table. The receipt logbook opened like a map. I flipped to the vendor section and wrote, "Sagaro Terrace Hall, invoice lines reviewed." I wrote the catering line, then the photo line. My fountain pen made the ink look serious. I pulled up our shared email and searched vendor messages. Each invoice listed terms, dates, and refund rules. Citrus and Lace had a cancellation clause with a 21-day notice. Len's Lark had a transfer option with a $650 fee. The venue had a reschedule policy with a $900 administrative charge. All of it was business, not romance. The next morning I ate lunch in the Biltmore area at the Gladly. My sandwich was $19, and I didn't taste it. I called Seguero Terrace Hall and asked for itemized invoice lines. Tanya Brooks answered in a bright, professional voice. "Can you email the breakdown?" I asked. "Sure," she said. "Which address?" I gave her my personal address, not our shared one. Then I wrote Tanya venue invoice lines in the logbook. I did the same with Citrus and Lace. I asked for the payment ledger and the refund schedule. I didn't rant. I didn't accuse Marissa. I just gathered facts like I always did. That was my one gift, and it saved me. Marissa started planning her closure trip like it was normal. She left brochures on the counter without looking at me. The brochures were from Canyon Crest Rentals. They offered a weekend package for $480 plus mileage. She also showed me a booking page for Pine Door stays. The cabin hold required $310 up front. I watched her click through it. Then I asked one question. "Are you using my card?" I asked. "It's our card," she said. "Our card is mine," I said. "It's in my name." She frowned like I'd broken a rule. Then she tried a new insult. "Stop being a tight little hall monitor," she said. I didn't answer. I wrote the amounts in my logbook instead. That afternoon, I drove to the passport acceptance office on Van Buren Street. The line snaked past the door, and the posted wait was 85 minutes. Marissa had insisted we should update documents for the honeymoon. Standing there, I realized she liked commitments when they served her. A clerk called numbers in a flat tone. My ticket showed 64. I used the time to review our vendor invoices again. My pen rested on the logbook like a weight. By the time I left, I knew my next step. I needed legal advice, not hope. Sonia Greer's office was in Midtown near Indian School Road. Her consult fee was $400 and I paid it gladly. Sonia listened without dramatic faces. She asked for documents, not feelings. "Do you want to proceed with the wedding?" she asked. "No," I said. "Do you want to protect deposits?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "Do you want to stop future charges?" she asked. "Yes," I said. Sonia read the contracts and circled key lines. She pointed to each vendor's invoice terms. "We can unwind this cleanly," she said. "Your job is to stay calm." I could do calm. Calm was my native language. I opened a new account at Desert Horizon Credit Union online. I moved $24,000 from the joint buffer into my personal savings. I also requested a new card number. No theatrics, just standard fraud prevention. That evening, I met my friend Noah Price at Wilderness Brewing in downtown Phoenix. 2 burgers and sodas came to $46. Noah worked in construction management and hated nonsense. He listened while I spoke in short sentences. "She wants a trip with her ex," I said. Noah stared. "That's not a trip," he said. "That's a warning label." "I'm handling it legally," I said. "Good," he said. "Don't negotiate with chaos." I went home and found Marissa packing a tote bag. Not a suitcase, just a soft bag and a grin. Derek's name flashed on her phone screen. She didn't hide it like hiding was beneath her. "You're really doing this?" I asked. Marissa didn't pause. "Don't start," she said. "I'm starting," I said. She sighed and tossed the tote on the couch. Then she pointed at me like I was the offender. "This is about your job," she said. "This is about respect," I said. "You're making it weird," she said. "It's already weird," I said. Marissa crossed her arms. Her voice turned sugary and sharp. "I deserve closure," she said. "You can have closure without Derek," I said. "You don't get to control me," she said. "I control what I fund," I said. She laughed once, cruel and light. "You're such a fragile little gatekeeper," she said. I felt anger climb, hot and steady. I kept it inside my ribs. "I'm canceling the wedding," I said. Marissa blinked, stunned for a beat. Then she lunged for leverage. "You can't," she said. "We already paid." "I can," I said. "I have the invoices." "You'd ruin my life," she said. "You made a choice," I said. Marissa's face changed again fast. She tried charm, then fear, then blame. "You'll regret this," she said. "I won't," I said. She stepped closer and lowered her voice. "Derek understands me," she said. "That's your answer," I said. I walked to the table and opened my logbook. My fountain pen sat beside it ready. "I want this in writing," I said. Marissa scoffed. "You're obsessed with paperwork," she said. "I'm obsessed with clarity," I said. She didn't sign anything. She didn't apologize. She stormed to the bedroom and slammed the door. The sound felt final, like a stamp. The next morning I started making calls. I did it from a bench in Encanto Park. The ducks didn't care about my life. That helped. I called Tanya at Sagaro Terrace Hall. I asked for the cancellation form and invoice adjustments. Tanya's tone stayed neutral. "I'll email the invoice lines," she said. I called Citrus and Lace and requested the refund schedule. I asked for confirmation in writing. Lenz Lark offered a transfer credit if I used it within 18 months. I accepted the credit and asked for a revised invoice. Sonia drafted a simple letter for Marissa. It documented shared expenses and reimbursement expectations. It also stated a boundary. All future communication would go through counsel. I didn't deliver it with a speech. I left it in an envelope on the table. The envelope was plain, but my pen had signed the cover note. I watched the ink dry and felt relief. Marissa left the duplex without a goodbye. She took her tote and a handful of hangers. She also took the engagement ring box. The ring stayed on her finger, which felt bold. 2 days later, she hosted her bridal shower at her rented room in Temp. I wasn't invited, and I didn't want to be. By then, the vendors had processed my cancellations. They sent confirmations to the primary contact on file. Marissa had insisted her email be the primary contact. That detail did my work for me. Noah texted me from his job site near South Mountain. He sent it like a news alert. "She's melting down," he wrote. "People are whispering." I didn't ask for details. I didn't want to play-by-play. Still, the truth surfaced later, piece by piece. Marissa opened a venue confirmation mid-gift. Someone asked about the menu. Someone asked about the photographer. The questions stacked up, polite but sharp. Marissa couldn't answer them. She couldn't because there was no wedding left to describe. There were only invoice lines and cancellation letters. That night, Marissa called from a blocked number. I didn't answer. She tried again from her own phone. I let it go to voicemail. Her message sounded rehearsed. "I need to talk," she said. "This got out of hand." Sonia emailed her the next morning. The subject line was professional and dry. Marissa didn't like dry, she liked mess. Within days, Derek vanished from her story. Noah heard it from someone who knew someone. Apparently, Derek refused to pay his share. Apparently, he didn't want closure at all. Marissa's motives became obvious in the quiet aftermath. She wanted Derek's attention and my money. She also wanted control over my future job. Cleveland threatened her throne. I accepted Granite Span's offer and set a start date. The relocation stipend hit my account, $6,500, right on time. I found a townhouse rental in Tremont in Cleveland. The lease was $1,850 and it felt like breathing room. On my last evening in Phoenix, I walked Roosevelt Row again. The murals looked brighter than before. I didn't feel victorious. I felt unburdened. Cleveland greeted me with gray skies and direct people. My first week at Granite Span ran on schedules and checklists. I led a site visit near the Cuyahoga River. The contractor bid came in at $1,240,000. We shaved $110,000 off the plan without cutting safety. That win felt better than any argument. I ate lunch at Lucky's Cafe and learned coworkers' names. A bowl of soup cost $13 and nobody teased my logbook. At night, I updated my receipt logbook anyway. It wasn't paranoia, it was practice. I also kept my fountain pen in my desk drawer. I used it to sign my new lease addendum. Marissa's consequences traveled without my help. Sonia received a response from Marissa's side. Marissa claimed she didn't understand the deposits. Sonia replied with invoice lines and plain math. Marissa's family asked for explanations she couldn't supply. The wedding party drifted away, not cruelly, just quietly. Months passed in orderly steps. I earned a performance bonus of 9,200 after a major project phase. I paid off my truck loan early, 14,700 gone in one transfer. I slept better after that. Then the return attempt arrived, predictable and inconvenient. Marissa showed up in Cleveland. She found me after work near West 25th Street. I was walking out with my laptop bag. Her hair looked styled, her eyes looked tired. She stepped into my path like she owned it. "Please," she said, "just 5 minutes." "You should talk to Sonia," I said. "I hate lawyers," she said. "That's not my problem," I said. "I messed up," she said. "You made several choices," I said. Marissa's voice wobbled. "I didn't think you'd actually leave," she said. "That's why I left," I said. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. "I was scared," she said. "I felt you slipping." "You pushed," I said. "I can fix it," she said. "There's nothing to fix," I said. Marissa's face hardened for a second. Then she tried one last insult, small and bitter. "You're cold," she said. "I'm stable," I said. She stood there, blinking like the streetlights confused her. Then she walked away without another word. Near the end of everything, I kept 3 lines copied on paper. They reminded me how clean the trail looked when you stayed calm. Invoice line: Sagaro Terrace Hall Retainer Reversal 09/11/2025 Invoice line: Citrus and Lace Catering Deposit Refund 09/13/2025 Invoice line: Sonia Greer Legal Services Demand Letter Draft 09/18/2025. A year after I left Phoenix, I stood at a granite span project site. We watched water move through new gates like it belonged there. My team hit compliance early and under budget. The city awarded us a follow-on contract worth $2,800,000. I went home to my townhouse in Tremont. I cooked dinner, washed one plate, and smiled at the quiet. That night, an email arrived from Marissa. The subject read, "I'm sorry. I owe you an apology," she wrote. "I was selfish and careless. I used you as a safety net. I hope your life is good now." I stared at the message and felt nothing sharp, only distance. I typed a reply that fit the moment. "Thank you. I accept your apology. Take care." I closed my laptop and set my fountain pen beside it. My logbook stayed on the shelf, full and finished. When people ask what I learned, I keep it simple. Love without integrity turns into a bill you pay alone. I'll say this plainly as the last line of my story. Choose partners who protect your peace, not your patience. I'm speaking directly now because this part matters. The lesson was that calm beats chaos every time. My boundary rule is firm: no shared money without shared respect. If I could redo one moment, I'd question the first insult sooner. I don't regret leaving, I regret delaying the decision. Life got quieter and I finally heard myself again.